Hello and good morning, everybody. Sorry. Nope, that's the wrong one. A little bright there. There we go. Let's calm it down. It's a bit of a gray overcast Wednesday morning here on the 28th of August. Coffee's in hand. We got some Nova previews tonight, which we'll do a video on those probably tomorrow because I seem to be a day behind right now because today we're talking about the chaos in the old world, right? The old world almanac. And I apologize. I probably should have done this yesterday, but work was just so nightmarishly busy that by the time I finished, I made dinner. I just wanted to hang out with the wife, play some Game Boy, and just chill and little game and little not thinking time. So it was a good time. But I had this saved. It's like first thing in the morning. I want to be fresh. Have my coffee. I want to go through it and just get excited for more old world stuff with you guys here. All right, so truth be told, I have not read this yet. I resisted because I could have I could 5 minutes, let me read it. And like, nope, I want to see what this is about later. Which it looks like it's probably a lore article from the way it's starting out here already. All right, so the Warriors of Chaos, the latest faction to enter the Warhammer, the Old World. The implacable ironclad barbarians have been absent from the affairs of man, elf, and dwarf for a few centuries, which is interesting because we're already in a time period not a lot of people know a ton about, and now you're referencing even farther back that people might not know about. And as far as the newer people, also as usual, the people who've been around and in the hobby and have studied the lore for a long time, like myself and many others out there, probably some of you watching, know the story, but there's other people going what was before this? This is 200 years before the end times. Or anyway, as the Empire Man falls into infighting and civil war, guess we'll get to that, power vacuum emerges, into which ironclad armored boots will tread once more. Once again, Warhammer communities join Chaos Waits with JTY and Danny to find out what follower of the ruinous powers have been up to since Be'lakor made his ill-starred bid for Mordheim. Mordheim. Playing that right now a lot. It's been great. All right, first off, some beautiful classic art. And I love how exact this looks to the actual models. I'm pretty sure that guy is my hornblower, that head and all, for my little Slaves of Darkness unit of Chaos Warriors, which is the classic kit. All right, anyway. JTY, Chaos in the Old World is not like it is in the Mortal Realms of the 41st millennium. Okay, good start. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. I'm following. We're focusing on chaos undivided rather than following specific gods. Okay, I like that. That is a little... 40k sort of does that, but 40k is a little weird with chaos completely, so it's its own beast, as they said above. The 4 distinct powers you see in Warhammer Age of Sigmar are indicative of chaos victorious, whereas undivided is a sense of more chaotic. Haha. It harks back to the proto-chaos of the old world. Before the individual gods started appearing, the voices of individual gods are less clear during this time. They don't have their own devoted followers, and demons aren't abroad. Instead, we're dealing with withering masses of chaos and divided. So, I guess it does make a lot of sense. Chaos usually goes after humans. And within a couple generations, they could completely forget about it's a myth. It's, great-grandpa Joseph said he saw this giant pincered 8-breasted demon-looking thing, and kids are like, nah, he's crazy. So they could forget about chaos probably pretty quickly. Just kind of, I guess that's an interesting concept. All right, chaos is definitely weaker during this time period. I think we knew that, but it's building up towards a time in which it becomes strong, and wins eventually. We got a couple cycles before that. We've compared this time period in the past to Horus Heresy. What Horus and Erebus really achieved was to reintroduce chaos into the galaxy after the Emperor had all but wiped it out. The same thing hasn't quite happened in Old World, but the 11th ever chosen didn't get to ascend to his position because he had been possessed by Be'lakor. That single event derailed the great game of gods for centuries, weakening their grasp on the Old World. Good old Be'lakor, being the most chaotic of all, and ruining chaos. Is that... I don't know if it's classic or new. I could see that being new, actually. But I can't say for certain. I never played Chaos during that time period, and I didn't really have many Chaos Warriors players in my area. so I never really perused the book too much. So let me know in the comments if that's a new or old art piece, just, in that sepia look. Alright, Danny. The gods have been biding their time. A few hundred years in the lifespan of such a being. True, that's just what we said. Humans forget. They don't. Only the actions of Azavar Kul, the 12th ever chosen. He's a-coming along. Don't you worry, I bet. Which then put the great plan back on track because this predecessor, Caradhran the Gloried, I thought I was going to say Gored, but anyway, was not allowed to do what he needed to do. It left a gap. There in time, the enemies of chaos fight back, leading to a lull. The lost power is now creeping back into the world. Okay, so it's kind of interesting to think about as we're playing our games of Old World. It should be a time of relative peace, I guess. JTY. The shadow of chaos has receded across the world, but the threat is looming once more, and the warbands are on the march. Northern marauders still raid, but they are barbaric warriors whose gods not necessarily have their names spoken loudly. This is like those weird barbarians in the north that wear talismanic tattoos and scream in a tongue we don't understand. Let's build a wall. Hey, Drink, can you go build wrong thing. Alright, it speaks to a deeper understanding of chaos that the shamans and sorcerers might have, but which regular tribesmen lack. It wouldn't be acknowledged head on that a certain tribe is worshipping corn, for instance, which is always interesting because there's always the times where they give corn a different name, and they kind of not Nurgle, it's Noggle, or something weird, because they just don't quite know. They think they know, but they're just it's on the tip of their tongues. But obviously they're getting some sort of power from this, so they continue the worship of it because they want the power. Business of Chaos has continued, of course, but there are still champions doing battle at the top of the world. There's still warbands that roam the Chaos Wastes and tribes in the Shadowlands. There's enough going around on to keep the gods busy, and now that there are whispers slowly drifting from the north of this great chieftain. Another great piece of artwork there. I always like whenever you see other people on the shield. That's gotta suck. Something very threatening about the idea of an ever-chosen, a mighty champion chosen by the dark gods for some unknown purpose, leading black-armored chaos warriors and hordes of marauders. They only come along every couple of centuries. Each one has a particular role to fill. We don't know what Caradhran, I'm going to read Caradhran too, wow, would have done. We don't know what most of the 10 before him did. Azavar Kul is significant because he sets the stage for Archaon, who always going to be the one who destroyed the world. There's a lot of deep, dark secrets about Kul gets up to, which we won't talk about publicly. At present, he's a figure in the background, a name on the wind. He hasn't yet, in the 2270s, become a threat to the known world, but he's a powerful warlord in the north. So he's there, and his name has drifted down south a little bit, but he's not doing anything yet that we know of. Essentially, okay, so Danny says he's still gathering his forces and venturing on the waste, doing his thing and earning his blessings. It's going to take some time. Before him, you'll get the rise of his lieutenants in different parts of the world, and before that, you get the rise of their lieutenants. Okay, so we got the command hierarchy going, which is where we start with the Arcane Journal and Friedel the Chainmaker, one of the two characters in the book, which is the lieutenant of lieutenant of Korgus Call's lieutenant. Neat. I like it. New characters, new ways to explore this setting. I'm all for it. I can't wait till we get. Eventually you probably will get Cole and all this crazy stuff, but for now, you gotta enjoy what you got. Alright, Friedel's featured in the narrative, and she's joined by returning character Galrock the Great Drake. He's perhaps the first great dragon to fall to chaos, turned into battle alongside the High Elves many years ago. There are other Chaos champions you might recognize in operation in this time period too. Arbal the Undefeated is known to have been involved in the Siege of Prague, for instance. You have all of Cole's lieutenants too: Engra, Deathsword, Sven the Bloody-Handed, and others. And there's that artwork. Yeah, look at that. I actually thought this was what was going to be on the cover of the Arcane Journal. But I do like what we got. It's very nice. But this just... damn. That boy does not skip any day at the gym. All right, let's see. Valnir the Reaper is alive at this time, and so is Skyla Affinigrim. He becomes a spawn right before the siege, but he's still a Norse warlord fighting in the background during the time period. Doesn't mean we're going to focus on any of these characters, of course, but they are there in the world, and we have an option to bring them into our narrative, which that would be fun because yes, Skyla was a weird one that he survived in the narrative all the way to Sigmar before they just cut him because he's an old model. Which, thanks for not giving us a cool reason, or maybe he's still there running around. But anyway, it'd be cool to see a little update, like maybe even a website, like hey. Here's Skyla. Here's what he's doing right now. He's running around. He's just this Chaos Lord dude. Have fun. Paint him up however you want. Kit bash it. Go. White Dwarf updates. Warhammer community updates. Just cool characters like that would be neat. Especially if you can slot them into the armies that you put into these Arcane Journals, because I think you can keep a character pretty well balanced through releases like that. Alright. Danny. As time progresses, there may be an opportunity to encounter named characters you'll recognize from the world of legend. For now, the spotlight's on Friedel and what she's doing in the north of the Empire. That's fun. It's kind of like a low consequence. You know, we know what happens for this story ultimately. So there's no risk for those big characters. There's risk on these small characters for like their lives or what they think is going on because we've not been in their mind yet. So that is really cool to see. The more I think about it, the more I'm excited for like these smaller, different characters, especially if they're gonna like build them up to be something important. Like moderate important level, just to help us get attached. Because I like attaching to a character like that too. I mean, of course, I'll create my own character. I mean, Terathi, right? But yeah. Anyway. Thanks, guys. The Old World Almanac will return on Thursday with a closer look at what's in the pages of Arcane Journal Warriors of Chaos. So I will try and do that for you on Thursday, which might be a double episode because obviously I'm going to talk about the previews that we see tonight at Nova. So yeah. And then one tells the truth and one speaks lies. Okay, sure. Doing the meme. But yeah. Short little video, but Chaos Warriors, Arcane Journal's coming out. I'm excited. Just because like more change to this game is great, and we're probably closer to High Elves now. So hopefully we'll see some cool stuff at the reveal show tonight. But for now, everybody, I will catch you later. So stay Stormcast strong and happy hobbying. Oh, and like and subscribe.